Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today in this video I will be discussing the topic of why PC gaming is truly superior to console gaming. So yes, in a sense this is different compared to my usual videos, as we're not debunking anyone in particular, but we're still going to be clearing up some misconceptions that people may have regarding the PC platform, and why it's objectively superior to console gaming, yes, even the next-gen consoles. Before we get started, however, I feel that it is necessary to make sure that everyone is aware of the definition of the word objective. I quote, "Not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering representing facts," end quote. Meaning that everything said in this video will be objective facts and will have no influence from me personally unless said otherwise. So with that out of the way, let's begin. So the first thing that we go over would be the initial investing and first experience when it comes to the platform. Now while people may try and tell you that it is too complicated or something along those lines, it is truly simple. All you need to decide on what you want is a good YouTube video and some research. And no, you don't have to pay the same price for a PC as you would a house. It is very easy to find builds online that are cheap and around the same price as the next-gen consoles, whether that be through a Discord server, Reddit, or PC Part Picker, meaning that you don't have to stress over paying so much, unless you truly want to have a powerful rig. In fact, sites like PC Part Picker actually include compatibility lists, and people post their builds on there that can give you a good idea of what you should be aiming for or what you should include in your build in order to make it good and in order to keep a good price. Now that we're through that point, let's get into the benefits of gaming on PC as a whole. The biggest and arguably most important one is the ability to customize just about everything when it comes to your PC. Whether that be your peripherals, parts, background, apps, in-game settings, really anything. You can tailor everything on your PC to be yours and unique to you. You can use it to show off your personality and express yourself, something that I feel like PC needs more credit for. Another advantage that our platform has over consoles is that online is completely free. We don't have to pay a single cent in order to play games with our friends. Now the whole idea of having to pay for Gold or PlayStation Plus is really anti-consumer as a whole, but it exists and we can't ignore it, so this is without a doubt a benefit to the PC platform. Now the next thing I want to talk about is how games on average are way cheaper on PC, and by that I don't mean on launch as games are full price on all platforms really. However, games go on sale way more often. In fact, Steam multiple times a year will have massive sales that will have dozens of games be up to 90% off, which is a great deal all the way around. Now compared to consoles, this just isn't the same case. Now yes, you get games free, well not really free, but you get games given to you if you have a gold membership or PSPlus, which is definitely nice, but a lot of these games are indie games or games from years ago. On PC, games from as recent as half a year ago can have 50% off sales, which is a great deal and is definitely a reason to switch to PC in my eyes. Another benefit that PC gaming has over console is one that you all might have heard before, and that argument is that PC games will look better assuming that you have a machine that is more powerful than the current consoles. And this is definitely a no-brainer, as some of the most gorgeous games, whether exclusive to PC or multi-platform, look absolutely gorgeous when played in a powerful machine, not to mention that things don't just stop at graphics. We have higher frame rates and field of views, which are crucial to gameplay and immersing yourself into the experience. Especially frame rate, as to me, I hate games with a low FPS unless they're older games or the games that are built around that. And having a high frame rate in a game is almost integral to me because I need the game to be smooth and responsive, which I just don't really feel like I get on consoles. And that may change with these next-gen consoles, however, I don't feel like it'll be the same. This being because that a lot of the consoles we played on 60Hz TVs, meaning that it's capped at 60 frames per second, and I won't get to enjoy truly high frame rates that these consoles are capable of putting out. So, I mean, yes, you could just connect them to a monitor, but how many people are really going to do that? Not many. Most people are going to connect them to their TV, meaning that they're still stuck at 60 frames, and they can't enjoy the new horsepower they have under their console's hoods. Something that is on PC that is missing on console, unfortunately, are whole genres, those being MOBAs, turn-based RPGs, and a majority of the major survival games. These are all genres with massive followings behind them, and they will unfortunately never be able to branch out and grow because of the limitations that are on console, things like controls and whatnot. And while yes, there are some exceptions to this, a lot of the games from these genres that get ported over from PC to console simply don't look like or play as well as they would on PC, and they definitely seem like they were made for console. Like, look at 7 Days to Die, for example. It's definitely not a perfect game by any means. In fact, it's quite outdated. But on the console, it plays so much worse compared to its PC counterpart. And yes, there's a whole story behind that as to why because it hasn't been updates and whatnot. But regardless, it's just these type of games aren't meant for console. And with games that have this much of a following behind them, you're really losing out if you get a console if these games are your type of thing. To bring up something that is similar or could contribute to what I had just said before, games in almost every genre besides racing and, depending on preference, platformers, are easier and better to play with a mouse and keyboard. I say this because with a keyboard, you have so many buttons to work with, being able to map so many different actions into different buttons if you need to, truly tailoring the experience to be perfect for you. And we can't forget how much better aiming with a mouse is, and this is the case because when you're aiming with a mouse, you are using your whole arm to control it instead of just your thumb and an analog stick, allowing you to move faster and control your aim so much better than you could with a controller. PC also has emulation, and while people will continue to argue about the legality of emulation, in most cases it is completely legal, and the legality of emulation deserves its own video, so we won't spend too much time on that subject. But nonetheless, emulation allows people to experience games from their childhood that may not have ever gotten a PC release, and giving the game to a brand new audience. And because of emulation, some games that may never had a chance at an online community. PC also has emulation, and while people will continue to argue about the legality of emulation, in most cases it is completely legal. And the legality of emulation truly deserves its own video at another time, so we won't spend too much time on that subject here. But nonetheless, emulation allows people to experience games from their childhood that may not have ever gotten a PC release, and giving the game a brand new audience. And because of emulation, some games that may never have had a good chance on an online community now have one, or older games on the Wii that actually had thriving communities, Call of Duty and Mario Kart for example. A good amount of emulators even allow for you to play these games with an uncapped frame rate and better graphics with a higher resolution and whatnot, which really makes for playing past games even better. On PC, we also have options when it comes to where we want to purchase our games. We can get them from Steam, the Microsoft Store, or different key sites if you want to try and get them for cheaper. And of course, we have the Epic Games Store, which genuinely gives away free games every month that you can keep forever. We aren't locked down to one provider or have to get all of our games from one person. We can choose where we want to get our games from, which once again really reinforces the fact that PC just has more options compared to console, but I think everyone knows that at this point. The next thing I would like to discuss is how with PC you can do so much more than just play games. People out there are creating incredible things every day with the help of computers, such as developing hardware, making video games, creating art in several different forms, digital or 3D, music videos, etc. Now, if we are comparing the two platforms just for gaming, then this would no doubt be unfair to bring up, but since I'm trying to state my reasons for why PC is a better bang for your buck as opposed to a console, I feel like we couldn't just skim over this, as this shows that people with all kinds of different hobbies and interests could do more than just game with a good PC. Now, I make this video not to spread hate to the console community. It is completely okay to have preferences, and you like what you like, and if you like to play on console instead of PC, that is perfectly okay. Being a console player doesn't make you a console peasant. Spreading misinformation or being an asshat does. Now, I try to keep an open mind to really everything I can with life. I know with how I act in some of my other videos, it may be hard to get the idea, but I want to give an invitation to this video. If you have any kind of rebuttal or response to anything I said, then please leave it down in the comments, as I'd love to start a respectful discussion with someone on why they think consoles are better than PCs, or if they noticed any mistakes in my video and they want to correct me, go ahead. It's really everything you want to do down there, and if you want to make a whole just response video to me, that's perfectly okay too, man. But with all that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this new informational and direct approach to making a video. I hope you're all able to learn something, and once again, do not spread hate whatsoever to anyone, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day.